This is an introductory video by bsidestudios.com, a web consulting company from South Florida. We specialize in Drupal and all sorts of CMSs like Drupal. This video is a very basic introduction about Drupal for anyone that is intrigued and does not know the difference between what a CMS is and what a CMS isn't, and barely knows what Joomla is or has experience with Joomla but wants to try Drupal. This kind of person. If you're an advanced user, I forewarn you now, there's nothing you will get out of this video. So let's get started. Talking about Drupal and what Drupal is can be a very interesting subject and a debatable subject. Drupal falls under the category of a content management system, but it is sometimes not quite a CMS, but it is more of a development platform. What I mean by this is the fact that Drupal's capabilities to be expanded functionality wise can be much greater than what Joomla has, for example. Joomla's forte is in the editorial sense of managing pages of content. Drupal, for example, abstracts the concept of what content is and uses it in a more broad way in order for every part of your website to fall under Drupal's core functionality, so you can expand from it and use everything it has to offer for every aspect of your site. Drupal is a very secure framework, and it is definitely a lot more secure than WordPress from personal experience. I might be wrong, but I don't think so. And let's say you want to try it out. You go to drupal.org and you click here and you download. Once you are done with that, you pretty much get something like this. Now I've added this text and this image, because Drupal comes very stripped down, as opposed to Joomla that comes with a poll, content and example FAQs and example everything. Drupal comes with nothing installed. It is very slimmed down. On here I've enabled a few features that come with Drupal out of the box, like the blog module that allows you to just have a blog and whatnot, and I've also enabled the contact module, which is pretty much every site needs a contact module, or a contact form, in order for people to tell you, hey, I want your services, I like this, or I think you're a horrible person, for the lack of a better word. And all of this comes out of the box with Drupal. All of this you can just enable by clicking, and it works. You type in what email address you want this contact form to go to, and that's it. And if you're having trouble with spam or anything, there's a CAPTCHA module that implements with every form on Drupal, and you can just add a CAPTCHA in there and you have to do zero programming. And you might say, this isn't what I want in terms of looks. This is horrific. Whatever you might say. So you can also, as usual, download a theme and throw on your theme, the whole thing. Drupal's theming layer is very rich and very powerful. So you can theme things very easily. So let's just quickly just select another theme that I downloaded previously, and let's just throw it on there and see what we get. And now this is our slightly improved website. It's a little bit more presentable. You could just replace any image you want, change the colors about, but you already have a base template that you can work off. If you're not an HTML, CSS, Photoshop guru or something, if you just want a website to represent something that you own or do, like a hobby or something. If you want to know what other things or themes you can get in Drupal, you can just go to the modules page in Drupal, and there's really tons and tons of modules that are already themed, and they have someone behind them that can answer your questions, that can tell you, what this module really is about. If you have a problem, they can help you, or someone else that uses the module can help you. And this code is all ready. This code is ready to be used and implemented into the Drupal framework, so you don't have to, do anything too crazy to get these modules to work. Now, when you want to make everything work together as one, that's when you might need, a little bit of programming experience or a little bit of help, making everything work. Ideally, the goal is so everything works without you ever having to program, but it's part of progress to, sometimes having to jump on the back and programming a little bit and making things work yourself. And once again, this has been a very basic introduction by bsidestudios.com. My name is Antonio, and you can find us at bsidestudios.com. I will be making the next video within a couple of days that pretty much explains to you how we go from here. How do we actually make a basic website, and how do I actually implement a couple of basic features that I'm bloating about right now. And we'll go from there, and after that I will teach you even more advanced modules like the views module, the panels modules, all these modules that are necessary to really harness the force that Drupal offers in terms of web development. And stay tuned on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bsidestudios.